Many people listen to music whilst they're doing their work. It's always become an automatic for adolescent and teenage students. Parents often contemplate if their musical background hinders or assists their child. A student from St. Francis College said, "Whenever I feel at school or work is overbearing, it's easier to listen to something that helps to keep your mind going, so you don't feel like you're stuck doing one thing." A book published focusing on the psychology of music discovered that employees who listened to music had a higher productivity rate than those who didn't. This study shows in favour of our millennial generation on the technological side, but what is stopping their grades from going down? We went to you to find out. Do you normally spend preparing lessons?
I would say across the course of a year, probably per lesson would be about an hour, but then every year we add little bits to every lesson, so some of the same lessons could have spent, 2 hours, 3 hours on across sort of 5 years perhaps.
About an hour to an hour and a half.
About an hour and a half or 2 hours.
A couple of hours to 10 minutes.
About half an hour.
The same, pretty much.
How long do you normally spend a day listening or watching music?
I normally only listen to music on my way to work, on my way home, so about an hour really. That would be the most. Sometimes when I wake up for a few minutes as well.
I would listen to it on the way to and from school.
About an hour and a half or 2 hours when I'm doing my homework.
I would say probably only about an hour, because when I'm listening to music I prefer to just listen to music and not do anything else at the same time.
A long time.
Maybe 48 hours.
Do you listen to music while you're doing your work?
No, I don't, because I find that I end up listening to that rather than actually getting on with work.
I do, because it helps me to be more productive.
When doing certain types of non-verbal work, for example art homework, I listen to music because it helps me concentrate and stay focused.
I can't think when there's a noise going on in the background.
No.
Yes.
Do you think listening to music while attempting to do work helps or hinders work in general?
I think it depends on the individual. I would say I think that if it's music that you think would be too, if it's music that you enjoy too much, it's probably not going to be very conducive for studying if you're going to be bouncing around to the song that's playing while you're trying to concentrate. So I would...
If that music makes adolescent or teen students more productive?
Yeah, sure.
It's got to depend on the student, right?
I think it hinders because I get distracted and then I don't end up doing my homework.
I think it can help because if you're more relaxed and not stressed from a day at school, then you can focus more on your work.
It's an interesting question because I know that lots of places play classical music to try and improve the learning ability of students, but I think it's a necessary part of life, music, and I wouldn't ever deprive anyone of it. I would think that possibly in some situations it would be inappropriate, especially when you're really trying to concentrate.
Do you think schools should introduce lessons where music is played all throughout?
I don't think so because people get distracted and not actually do the work.
I think so for some subjects because it can help you be more creative.
Yes!
Maybe.
I think that it could be good, but it's dangerous in some sense that if you always have music just in the background, then that's all that music is. It's just background to what you're doing, whereas probably you would get as much benefit from really listening intently to the music on its own and then studying as well.
Next up, we have a study from our health reporters, Karen, Talia, and Joanna, on the effects of caffeine and sugar in regular everyday drinks. What's better, Coca-Cola or Starbucks?
Let's find out.
Go.
Recent statistics have shown that sugar and caffeine can be harmful to your body if consumed in large amounts. We decided to ask variable, knowledgeable professionals, and we wanted to prove this by conducting a simple experiment. Cola versus coffee.
What do you think contains more sugar, a can of Coke or a small Starbucks drink?
I think a small Starbucks drink.
Small can of Coke.
I think a small Starbucks drink. A can of Coke.
Can of Coke.
Can of Coke.
Can of Coke. Can of Coke. Right. Starbucks drink. What's happening? No, it's can of Coke. A small Starbucks
Drink.
drink. A small Starbucks drink.
A small Starbucks drink.
Probably a can of Coke, because it's basically pure sugar.
Out of the 25 volunteers we asked, 19 believe that a can of cola contains more sugar than a Starbucks drink. But is this really true?
We can now reveal that a 330 milliliter can of Coca-Cola, such as this one, contains 7 teaspoons of sugar.
Whereas Starbucks drinks contain up to 25 grams of sugar. However, you can still drink these.
But only in moderation.
That was a fantastic report.
It really was. Next time I pick up a drink, I think I'm going to think twice about how much sugar goes into that drink.
Now we're going to pass over to Sheree with the weather.
As you can see on my map, in the southern regions it will be mostly cloudy with spots of sunshine, but heading towards central London there will be scattered showers. Heading further north you'll see a mixture of everything, sun, cloud and a bit of rain. But in Northern Ireland it's mostly cloudy.
For the next few days, I think I'm going to bring an umbrella to school.
Virtual reality is the next report in our headlines today. With technology advancing the world as we know it, many of us become dependent on it. And in this next report, we'll find out how people can actually come to live in another dimension.
Through the use of hardware and software, virtual reality can help replicate an environment, whether real, such as the moon's surface, or an imaginary realm. The objective of virtual reality is to create a sensory experience, which includes sight, touch, hearing, smell, or even taste, to help the users experience another world.
Do you play video games on the following games, consoles, or devices? Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, or PC?
PC.
What are popular games which you play, and what are your opinions on those games?
I play games such as Undertale, which are just generally trending at the moment because they're trending for a reason.
Okay, cool. What experiences do you receive from gaming, whether it may be virtual reality or any console or PC games?
They're just there for entertainment, really, so if you have a bit of spare time, then you can play a game and it will just go away at the time.
44% of respondents in a 2015 Statistica survey who had developed an interest in virtual reality in the United States have stated they were very fascinated and attracted to this new technology.
What are your thoughts on virtual reality?
Virtual reality is really good for professional gamers because it gives them a proper sense of atmosphere inside the game.
Would you buy this product, bearing in mind that it's £420?
Well, if I had the money and I was really serious about gaming, then I probably would.
Okay. Do you agree with this price?
Well, considering the amount of research and scientific development that had to go into it, it's probably a lot cheaper than I would have expected.
Okay, thank you.
YouTubers, celebrities and other recognisable figures have been seen using VR products to not only entertain themselves but to entertain their viewers, whether it may be to help sell the product or simply show their own opinions on this. A recent example of a virtual reality product is the Oculus Rift, an eyewear product which creates a 3D illusion of the game surrounding you and covering your sight. This has been an extremely fascinating and wonderful experience as users delve into a world they may not have been able to experience before. This is an example of the new gaming technology which has progressed over time.
Advantages of the Oculus Rift virtual reality products are that they are giving away VR headsets with the new S7 Samsung phones. It has removable audio pieces, adjustable faceplate, is very portable and very light. However, disadvantages with the product is the final consumer version has yet to be tested, PC requirements are expensive, official pricing has not been announced, and you have to buy certain games to play the device.
A wonderful insight that was truly fascinating. Now over to the sport with Rahul.
After John Terry being absent for the last 5 matches with a hamstring problem, how did Chelsea cope with PSG? Tensions rise as the Year 12 and 13 football matches emerge, along with other sporting events. This is BBC School Report. Zlatan Ibrahimovic was a key player in PSG's success yesterday at Stamford Bridge, kicking Chelsea out of the Champions League. PSG beat Chelsea 2-1 at 4-2 aggregate. Bye-bye Blues. It started out with Rabiot scoring 16 minutes in the game, putting PSG at 3-1 aggregate before Diego Costa then scored again in the 17th minute. Ibrahimovic scored 60 minutes into the game and he also set up Adrien Rabiot's goal too. Now PSG is going to battle it out in the Champions League with Wolfsburg, Benfica and Real Madrid, while Chelsea risks not playing at all in next season's Champions League. We're here with Emmanuel and Luca in the Legacy building, and we're here to talk about the Year 12 and 13 football match that's rapidly approaching. So, Emmanuel, what's the purpose of this football match?
Well, a few weeks ago, the Year 12s approached us and they asked us Year 13s for a football match, and they said that it will be for sports relief. And so, during the match, we're going to be collecting donations before and also after the match for sports relief. And I just think it's a great way to raise awareness for the charity raising campaign.
Very true, very true. And Luca, are you involved in the football match?
Yes, I am. I'm going to be playing the goalkeeping position. My friend Eman here is going to be playing centre half. Going to hold up the defence. No nonsense at the back, please.
No nonsense. No nonsense.
It's all good.
There's definitely rising tensions, don't you think?
It's a little. We were called out on the tunnel by a few Year 12s.
It's some strong words back and forth.
But no, we're joking. It's all a friendly atmosphere, and it's just we have that competitive edge again. I think raises the profile of the charity.
So, now to the serious question. Who's going to win?
Oh, come on, that's not a serious question.
It is a serious question.
It's not a serious question because with the likes of Luca and Tariq,
we've got the experience.
And Tobin, we may be slightly older, but yeah, we've got it all up there.
You think you're going to thrash the newbies?
3-0, 4-0.
4-0.
It'll be a rout.
So we have the predictions right here, and when the match comes about, we'll be taking your word for it.
Right.
All right. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
And enjoy the rest of your day.
Cheers.
Thank you. We've already heard about the Year 13 side of the story, but what do the Year 12s have to say? Jonathan, do you want to start?
So, I'm Jonathan. I'm a member of the charity committee, and we basically came up with this idea for sports relief. And the whole idea was that each player would donate and spectators would donate. So yeah, we're basically just trying to hype it up as much as possible. It's looking like it's going to be a good game. We appointed Opemipo Alabi as our manager for the game. It's going to be his managerial debut. Everything's looking good.
All right. Are you either of you playing in the game?
Yeah.
All right.
Jonathan Markham. He's playing.
What position are you playing?
Well, I think I'm going to be playing.
You can't disclose that information.
I'm going to be playing Cam. Centre attacking.
Okay. That's good. Would you like to tell us about what you think the result's going to be?
I think we're going to smash them.
I think we're absolutely going to smash them.
I think with our team we've got a bit of quality in our team. Like Johnny, Ed.
Yeah,
but
good strong players.
They don't have any quality. I've heard that a couple of them play in the Celtic A-League, which is meant to be quite scary apparently.
The Year 13 say that it's going to be a 4-0 defeat.
4-0 defeat for them?
Yeah.
For them? They're going to lose 4-0.
No, oh no, they're going to smash you 4-0.
I don't think that's possible.
Well, we'll see.
I think
We'll see next week, won't we?
I think they're quite like a physical side. Like they've got like a couple of big guys, but
They've got big players.
They're slow.
They're not football players.
Yeah.
That was just horrible. A topic that has been quite controversial for a long time is the wages of sportsmen and women. In our next report, our team, Megan, Sophie, and Ami, will be discussing some of the important issues surrounding this matter.
To internal bleeding. Who is he going to need? A footballer, friend, or a side?
I'm Ami.
It is a widely debated question about footballers' wages. Are they paid too much? Are they paid too little? Though it is your personal opinion on the matter, we will be providing you with information and facts so you can hopefully be more knowledgeable on the subject and make your own decision.
On action.
In a year, a footballer plays up to 30 games of kicking a ball around, but in a year, a doctor on average stays up to 25 lives. So how is it possible that a doctor earns £87,000 a year when footballers earn millions? If a footballer was playing and trips over, receives a minor concussion which leads to internal bleeding, who is he going to need? A footballer, friend, or a side?
I'm Ami Kanigalka, and this is my ethics teacher, Miss Robertson. If a dentist, a doctor, firefighter, policeman, a teacher, a surgeon, and a soldier's annual salary was combined, it would only be 2.4% of Cristiano Ronaldo's annual salary. What are your thoughts on this?
I think that actually is not as surprising as I would like it to be. Unfortunately, I think we all know that footballers are earning quite a lot of money every week. Whereas, your teachers, soldiers in particular, aren't earning that much money. Firefighters risking their lives, they aren't earning very much money. Soldiers risking their lives for other people, often in other countries, not even in their own country. And we know that they aren't paid that much at all. And in fact, a lot of the time they don't even receive counselling when they come back. So unfortunately, no, it's not much of a surprise.
Do you think that it's fair that the highest paid women footballers only earn 0.3% of the average male footballer's yearly salary, and many of them have second jobs to help support themselves?
Now, I think that this is a question which has two sides to it, because actually, in a sense, it is fair because their ticket revenue, for example, they're not bringing in that much revenue. The merchandise for ladies football doesn't sell as much as obviously the male football does. So in a sense, it is fair in terms of business and economy. However, do I think it's fair that women's football doesn't get the same airtime? No. Do I think it's fair that women don't get the same support, the same training camps? I mean, yes, there are a couple of female-only football camps for training around the UK. Yes, there are some mixed training sessions for women. However, there is a lot more for just boys. That said, it is moving forward. So the European qualifiers, the England game, is being showed on BBC Two. However, do I think if it was male, would it be on BBC One? Probably.
Now that you know about these statistics, do you think male footballers are paid too much?
Oh yes. I mean, absolutely. I understand that, if you want the best players, you have to pay them, and, it is a footballer's market and that teams want to win. Fans are obviously paying the ticket prices, but to me it just screams of elitism, where actually only the very wealthy are beginning to take their families to these kinds of events. And it's the same with theatre and all sorts of things, but actually, they're outpricing lower income families, and to me that just says that we're moving back to Victorian ages, where if you're on a certain income, you are not having the same opportunities as people of a higher income, which I think is completely unfair. It's no different than racism or anything else. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Sarah Richard, and I'm here with Sam, Amy, and Will. If a dentist, a doctor, firefighter, policeman, teacher, surgeon, and soldier's annual salary was combined, it would only be 2.4% of Cristiano Ronaldo's annual salary. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, I believe money is due to success. So they only get money because that's what Ronaldo is really successful, which is a result of the amount of money he gets. And I also feel This is a bit unfair because people like surgeons, doctors, physiotherapists save people's lives like Ronaldo and other people who are in need of help. So without physiotherapy, there will be no Ronaldo playing on the pitch.
But Cristiano Ronaldo is at the top of highest paid women footballers, only earn 0.3% of Cristiano Ronaldo's yearly salary.
Well, to be fair, a lot of the money that Cristiano Ronaldo earns comes from TV coverage, and women's football is not getting as much TV coverage as men's football, so it's relative.
Yeah, but why is it?
Because men's football has been like most
Around
people,
longer.
Yeah, it's been around longer, so now women have adapted their ways to go watch as well.
Now that you know about the statistics, do you think now football is a picture?
No.
Free market. Thank you. Well,
Soldiers, doctors, firefighters, they save lives, they earn thousands.
footballers and professional sportsmen, they earn millions. How is this fair?
Thank you. Well, that ends our report for today.
We hope that you have found it interesting, and stay tuned for BBC School Report around the country for the rest of the day.
Goodbye.